Hey there, fellow constructors and miners, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, episode 43, The Path to Plasteel. As you can see above my head, I'm going to continue the priority left over from last stream, which is to build mining tunnels to the Plasteel node. We're actually quite close to it. It already has its power, but it's going to be important to get this constructed quickly because we are heading into winter. It is the 4th of September and it's only going to get colder. And pretty soon we will not have the luxury of being able to walk outside without freezing to death really, really quickly. So it's going to be important for us to build those tunnels so that we can stay warm while trying to mine Plasteel. We're also expanding the hospital, as that was an agreement, a compromised agreement in the previous voting. Oh, and it's probably worth showing the historical record. So, of the last stream, we had the pilgrims enjoying manual labor and becoming more ascetic and no longer despising insect meat. Those were the 3 polls. I also readjusted faction feelings at the start of the stream to sort of reassess the fact that the last 3 or 4 polls have gone in Pilgrim favor. So now we have the Stalwarts as disenfranchised, -10 mood, and the Pilgrims at +3. Which is different than when we left off. I thought it would need readjustment. Cheers. See to keep in celeb. Thank you for the gifted sub and the resub. Alright, instead of behind the walls, everyone's going to be set to close except for Zeusin. Kicking Axios off of the research bench, because he shouldn't be there anyway. And Brainbug, thank you for the resub too. Now that all the floors have been stripped up, we can put down some flagstone and get this hospital enjoying a slightly larger recovery area. Power's looking pretty good right now. What we don't have yet is enough steel to really accommodate an expansion of our hydroponic farm. It's something that I've been thinking about. Of course, each hydroponic basin is 70 watts. And not only that, but it is 100 steel and components as well. Probably while I'm building a tunnel to the Plasteel node, I will want to add some additional planters to accommodate a wider variety of crops. We do have cycloid brewing researched. We had passed up the opportunity to research beer brewing, and we're going to be researching advanced fabrication for quite some time yet, but it might make sense to start growing more medicine, possibly tinctoria, more cotton, etc. Depending on the desire and demands of the colony. You think a flash storm will bother me? False. Alright, I was thinking of trying to move the multi-analyzer like here, although it probably wouldn't help much. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just nest the heat in that corner and sort of acknowledge that it's a dead corner. Alright, JD, if you're idle, would you kindly come over here and start removing bodies from our giant backlog of corpses that are everywhere? Oh, you are a no, you should be on close pilgrims. I screwed this up. There we go. So trying to clean up some of the last few rays is going to be relatively important. That and the defenses around here can be broken down, the wooden ones, and replaced with stone to capture the benefit of the moisture pump. The heater was a light source, but I do have a light here. And the reason for the light here is that the heater can't illuminate all of the hospital beds adequately. So I thought it made sense to have a light as well, because lights aren't too expensive in terms of power and resources. So the moisture pumps we have here will remove all of the liquid that is immediately surrounding the center island. And the intention is to dry it all out so that we can build turrets and like pillboxes and other defenses in that area to make defending our colony a little bit more easy. Now, how are we getting along with this? My guess is this is a zoning problem. Yes. So close stalwarts and close pilgrims are going to be allowed out here now. Perfect. That's why they were repairing, because repairing is a lower priority to do than building. Alright, perfect. So Lenka is in prison, and Lenka is being converted to a pilgrim. Their bloodlust, too smart, great memory, with a desire for melee. And one thing I need to remember to do is to try to use conversions as frequently as it off cooldown. But one thing I did just realize is I don't have a table in there. So let's hook that up with a table. Good. So we're back to making the mining tunnels. Perfect. Now these, this annexed area should be under home zone, which I realized it hadn't been. Alright, that looks about right to me. Is the wall light enough to light all the beds? Yes, easily. Oh, we need to batch up some more nutrient paste. Fish pick. Gets to be you. And what I might end up doing is like batching up a lot of it, because it's not like it's likely to spoil. And that way I don't have to constantly remember to do this. There's another way to do it, if you're wondering, if you don't like to have to forbid, which is if I create a new area and just call this NPM, and zone the person with NPM right here. Oh, hold on. I need them to be able to interact with the actual machine. Oh, wait, you're not trying to take food anymore? I think I need to have it access the whole machine. There we go. So now I don't actually have to, I don't actually have to forbid the meals. And additionally, I can include the shelves so that Fish Pick or whoever ends up with the NPM responsibility can refill the hoppers and then make the meals without having to forbid anything, as you can see. Because they are forbidden from going where the meals are. It doesn't work. So the only way to do this properly is you have to at least forbid the first meal that is underneath the spot there. Alternatively, you can try to fill the spot with like a chair or something. Alright, and that's probably enough. So, close pilgrims, and done. I'll probably end up doing it the original way, just because that is a little bit more work. I just wanted to show that any way to forbid the meals is a way to batch. You don't necessarily have to go the route of forbidding the meals themselves. There was a question, I think, Kadath, it was you, about whether it would be faster to build the floor pathing or to build the walls first. And I just wanted to explain this out loud so that other people can hear the explanation. The reason why I'm building the walls first is it could be faster to build the flooring, but only in the scenario that it doesn't snow on the pathing, because if it ends up snowing on the pathing, then you end up with a case where you have to shovel the snow off of the pathing, and then that is absolutely not a net benefit. So that's why I've been doing the walls and ceiling first, so that we didn't have to contend with snow. Oh, nice. This one expanded too. So we'll be able to have, what I might end up doing in this case, so that whoever is the defender here can have cover, is wall up like a U shape, so that they have cover from all sides. So that in the case that like Fish Pick's shield belt breaks when luring enemies, he can dip into this U-shaped hole and escape from being shot at. A prison break. I don't want JD fighting on his own. I'm a little worried about sending Mads in there with the Jade club. But obviously, we're going to prioritize the health of our colonists over the health of a prisoner. If you build the roofs and shovel the snow, does the snow come back? It won't snow through a roof. But you can't build a roof unless you have some walls first. I imagine you sit this one out, just because I think if you club Lenka, Lenka's going to die. You're here for insurance. There we go. Lenka. No permanent injuries. JD has no new permanent injuries. So that worked out. And that was probably... So the mood was low enough that there was a mental break. But the good news is it wasn't one of those conversion mental breaks. Because Lenka's already down to 34%, so she quite likely would have just converted to a different ideology, and that would have been more annoying in the long run. Alright, Witchbringer has tattered apparel. And Madsen, you were going to tend JD. So the stalwarts are going to be happy about their bigger hospital, I think. Spacious hospital. Yep, it's a +6. As a result of the hospital growing a little bit due to the compromise agreement between the pilgrims and the stalwarts. And hopefully we can keep Lenka from going nuclear again. Kilgore, thank you for the resub. I'm going to have Axios clear out some more of the corpses, because we have quite the backlog. The other thing I could do is, what the heck? There we go. Oh, this spot is not shallow. Or, it's shallow water. The other thing I could do is roof up that one spot, so even when it's snowing, we can clear corpses, which I think will ultimately be pretty helpful. So there's still plenty of corpses left on the map, some even at the map's edge. So I'm going to do an order, allow all. And what I might try to do is expand the close pilgrim zone to include the corpses so that they can clean them up. And the tunnel progress is going really well. We'll have this done in short order, I think. We are somewhat running out of space for stuff, aren't we? I think I'm gonna make the choice to smelt the flak that we have. At least the flak pants. And the reason is, flak pants will physically slow you down, and being slowed can be very deadly out here in the on the arc snow. So I don't want movement speed penalties, and I'd rather just have the steel. So question for you all. Pretty soon, the mining tunnel to the Plasteel node will be done. What should the next project be? And here are the options. I can try to build bedrooms and barracks. It's going to be a little tricky to do that because of the raw resources required. I'm almost out of limestone, but I can at least start the project. I can improve weapons and armaments. Now that we have the ability to make steel and components, I can start making more SMGs or perhaps even sniper rifles and assault rifles, depending on the skill of the shooter. Oh yes, this needs a door. Alternatively, we could save up to upgrade the Ark. The Ark's about to have all of the fuel required for its upgrade being supplied, so upgrading the Ark is a very reasonable goal. We can start to build automated defensive turrets and weapons. So one of the reasons to get Plasteel is Plasteel mini turrets are significantly more powerful than their steel counterparts. So it might be useful to build Plasteel mini turrets. I could expand the NPM housing to allow for cooking. So it was there was a poll last stream, which was, do we allow for insect meat to be cooked into 5 meals with rice? And if I expanded like this NPM roam a little bit to include a cooking bench, we could have fine meals made of rice and insect meat, and our pilgrims do not mind insect meat. So that might be a reasonable project as well. I could also build a stalwart tomb. At the moment, we've got Nabla housed sort of in like a closet corner, cubbyhole, something. It's not ideal. And certainly we could have a tomb for her. One of the reasons to do it is it is technically a recreation source, so there is a bit of a benefit to entomb people. The pilgrims don't want to be entombed, they just want to be cremated. So, but the stalwarts want to be entombed. And we're almost done hauling all of the bodies. I think this is the last body to be hauled to the stockpile. I find it funny how everyone passing through this corridor, like, makes a point to, like, dip towards Cardinal and Fishpick just to wake them up. Like, dragging their feet. Oh, heel roots. Well, isn't that crappy? Especially given that they take for frickin' ever to grow. So I've flicked off the benches. I'm going to forbid the door just so they have nowhere else to go. I flicked off the benches so they don't try to resew it. God, that's annoying. But now we can turn the benches back on and resew the heal root. Only Devil Strain is immune to Blight, not heal root. Oh, JD lost. Got way too hypothermic. I got to be a little bit more attentive about that. He went out for like the last corpse that was all the way to the west, and clearly was not the right call to make. So it looks to me like... Oh, God, it happened again. It looks to me like upgrading the Ark seems to be the popular choice. And we do have a Wanderer joined opportunity right now. So let's resolve this. The next project will be upgrading the Ark. We are moments away from having the Plasteel tunnel done. An illegal shipwright named Abbott has arrived and wants to join your colony. He is willing to contribute, but will not leave voluntarily, claiming to have nowhere else to go. You can continue, turn him down, send him away. This is indeed a charity incident. So the stalwarts would be upset if we didn't accept him. But we already have a pre-standing policy about immigration where we decide whether to keep people based upon their merits. And here he is. He's a wimp with tons of scars, meaning that he would be very likely to lose consciousness within a quick fight. Social, intellect, construction, and oddly enough, he's a pilgrim, despite the fact that his traits would lend themselves to become stalwart. He should be a stalwart, in my opinion. Do we keep Abbott? And this is, this isn't like on party lines. This is just whether you want to keep Abbott or not. So 46-year-old covered in scars, who's a wimp, who has social, intellect, and construction passions. And if you're wondering, the Wanderer Joined event has been turned off a while because we're getting flood spammed with that stuff, and I turned it back on. I'll adjust it accordingly. I don't necessarily want to get flood spammed with requests. So we're going to say no. Now, in this case, we don't have a penalty to banishing anyone. It doesn't affect us. It's just the way things are in this world that we live in. So there is not a problem banishing Abbott. And in fact, someone liked it. Someone hated Abbott and was like, yay, my rival got banished. Which is odd, considering they don't know one another, but whatever. I guess they didn't know one another. Very stalwart pilgrim. Yeah, it seems like it. Alright, I removed that deep water conduit just to replace it with a normal one. It wasn't that I was trying to screw up the moisture pump or anything. So I'm going to get that cable replaced pronto. And now there's a spot to take cover. A very modest one. And all that we have left for the Plasteel tunnel is a tiny floor tile. Cool. So here's the thing. I think instead of uninstalling and reinstalling deep drills on the regular, I am going to make new deep drills. We do have the steel and resources to do that. And I think it makes more sense than running all the way up here to uninstall them, which is really, really time consuming. With that said, we are going to need to start mining wood again soon, because we don't have a stockpile anymore. Alright, so the deep water defenses are upgraded a little bit to have increased safety. I like that. Current priority right now is to upgrade the Ark. So the Ark will have all the fuel it needs burned like sometime today, I think. Which means saving up steel and components for the upgrade process. So I built the drills over there just because it's going to be easier to build the drills there, and then I'll move to reinstall it over here. So Cardinal, I think, is the one mining. Actually, I don't want Cardinal doing it. Cardinal's already hypothermic. We'll have Fishpick and Madsen move the drill. And that will allow us to start mining Plasteel, because we do have 2 brawlers, and it would make sense to at least have both brawlers have shield belts. Shield belts are, you know, kind of important when you're a brawler. There we go. There's our Plasteel node. It also possibly makes sense to start replacing the limestone and wood. Well, so this wooden door can't be replaced with Plasteel because it's on a bridge, but the limestone and steel and wood doors with Plasteel ones, only where it is needed, because of course Plasteel is a wealthy material and we don't necessarily want to drive up our colony wealth needlessly. So doing that responsibly, not every door, but the doors that are most important. What's going on with the roofing? It's correct, it just looks weird. Alright, so we have a warming room here for the Plasteel. We still need the door here. So Fishpick and Cardinal are in a bit danger of getting hypothermic without the wooden door being built here, but we're out of wood. So someone does need to have to make the run for the drill up north. And I'm going to send Axios. Axios is a fast runner, so hopefully he'll be able to do it quicker than the others. On the off chance he gets too cold, I can also turn on the heaters up here because we have the power. Just so that he has a way to warm himself as he's, if he gets hypothermic up here. Because it's negative 100 Fahrenheit out, so it's kind of chilly. Now, I had mentioned that this room was small enough that I didn't need double-walled insulation, and that is definitely true. It's pretty toasty in there, all things considered. Here is the heat map. So the farm and that mining room are the warmest rooms in the entire base by, like, a lot. Obviously, double insulating would help even more, but it would never help enough that the heater could ever turn off, so it wouldn't actually be much of a benefit. So Axios is done grabbing the northern drill, installing it in the wood spot. Would it cause the other heater to run less? There's only one heater there, so no. And the Ark's upgrades needs 450 steel and 10 components. So we have the components, albeit not by a large margin. We only have 14, and we have 320 steel. So after we mine up a little bit more wood to double door the bedroom over here and build up a little bit of supply for the Ark, I will move our mining teams. Probably after we have the resources for a shield belt, I'll move the mining teams so that we can get the resources required for steel. Okay, Lenka has been converted to pilgrims. So now you are going to be recruited. With a resistance of 7, it shouldn't be very long. Could I put up walls in the other mining spots so that they're smaller and therefore warmer? I could, like, add dummy walls like this to fill up the volume. Ultimately, all that really matters is that I'm staving off hypothermia. So as long as the room is warmer than -40, there's not really a measurable benefit, because -40 or -20 makes no difference to a colonist. They're cold or they're cold. Anything below roughly -40, they start to become hypothermic. So only in the case where there is a real risk of hypothermia would that make sense, in my opinion. And the reason these rooms are the size and design they are is it's where the nodes are. So I wanted to lay out the room in such a way that we'll have access to all of the deep drill nodes without having to rebuild or redesign the rooms. So as you can see, all of the rooms here follow the sort of the deep node resources. So yeah, it would be possible to just like fill in dummy areas in the middle, but that only really matters if we're getting if we can't deal with the ambient temperature as it is now with one heater. And none of the mining rooms have 2 heaters, so it wouldn't save power. Nice, this expanded again. So we're going to remove the 2 wooden walls on either side, replacing them with stone. Cool. So now that this door is being built, or has been built, this room is acceptably warm. And Fishpick is working on the plasteel required for a shield belt, which is 20. So I think we already have the plasteel. Well, no, we're 1 node shy. Oh, no, we have already the plasteel required. All right. So in that case, I am going to move this drill up to here and start mining coal and iron again. We actually have a lot of coal, so I want to turn on this drill for the iron, because we have 177 coal, but almost no iron. There we go. So the northern iron node is active. And I can just leave that here there. Doesn't really matter. I'll just turn it off like that. Perfect. Upgrade the arc. So now that we have the plasteel for the shield belt, let's get Zeus in to cook up a shield belt for Madsen. Keep Madsen alive. Having 2 brawlers with shield belts is going to be way better than 1, so that they can exchange shield belt damage, because obviously when the shield belt gets overwhelmed, it breaks and has a long time to recharge, so trading between 2 brawlers is definitely going to be a bit of a benefit. Alright. I don't think the chunks out here are worth the time to travel to anymore. The limestone chunks, so I'm going to remove this zone. Just because I designed this kill box to be annoying to travel around in, so it doesn't really make sense that they're running out there. It's designed to be slow. That and our current priority does not require stone. It's upgrading the arc, so I don't really need to worry about stone cutting at the moment. This is going to log some overtime to try to get the shield boat going. Fishpick has a Normal quality shield belt. Hopefully this one's even better. Thomas Ross, thank you for the resub. Long live the Ark. I appreciate it. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, it's much better. Hey, Fishpick will wear the Masterwork in the morning. Getting a Masterwork without an inspiration is pretty awesome. Do we know what it takes to upgrade the Ark? It takes 450 steel and 10 components. So I have all of the components, but not all the steel. Radlocker, thank you for the bits too. Thank you for the cheer. I think with that said, right now I might not make more components, but obviously we're going to have to cook up components because upgrading the Ark is going to reduce our component count down to 2, which is too low. And Quantum, thank you for the cheer as well. Where the other show? Oh, there it is. And Thomas Ross for all the gifted subs. You guys are amazing. And see to keep? Man, just quite the love. Cheers. All right, we have double shield belts. I am quite happy about that. And I'll probably end up having Fishpick focus on the deep drill. So that I get a big portion of iron before he leaves. Oh, man, and Kilgore with all the gifted subs as well. Well, hot damn, dudes. Dudes and dudettes. One way to do it is to micromanage it by, like, forbidding the door. I know Wishbringer was coming up here. Oh, wait, this... There we go. I guess it's fine that Witch is mining here. And Quantum with all the gifted subs. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm gonna be pink. For the love. Where is... I do have like a gaping hole in my defenses right now. I really want those walls built. Okay, Zeusin's coming out to it. So once Zeusin's done doing that, I will put Zeusin back on research. Alright, Fishpick, that's probably enough portions. Actually, you know what? You have more energy. Just keep going. You're Iron Man. Yeah, I know. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow pilgrims and stalwarts.